My entire life was meticulously curated by my father, Xavier, revolving around one goal: acceptance into Harvard. From the moment I could read, my father instilled in me the importance of this prestigious institution. It wasn't just a school, it was a symbol of success, a beacon of excellence that he believed would secure my future.
Daryn lived under the imposing shadow of Harvard. The university's name was a constant presence in his household, a looming giant that dictated every aspect of his life.
Every extracurricular activity, every internship, every volunteer hour, every breath you take is orchestrated to build the perfect Harvard applicant. My father left no stone unturned, ensuring that my resume was impeccable, my grades flawless, and my character unblemished.
Xavier, a renowned cardiac surgeon, was a man of precision and discipline. His career was a testament to his meticulous nature, and he expected nothing less from his son. He had mapped out Daryn's life with precision, leaving little room for deviation. Every hour of Daryn's day was accounted for, from early morning study sessions to late-night research projects.
I excelled in my studies, achieving top marks in every subject. My teachers praised my dedication, my peers envied my success, but my heart ached for something more. The pressure was suffocating, the expectations crushing. I felt like I was living someone else's dream, not my own.
He felt like a pawn in his father's ambition, a mere vessel to fulfill a legacy. The weight of his father's expectations was a constant burden, a heavy cloak that he could never shed. Daryn was a piece on a chessboard, moved strategically by his father, with no say in his own destiny.
The weight of the Harvard dream pressed down on me, threatening to extinguish the flicker of my own aspirations. I longed for freedom, for the chance to explore my own passions, but I was trapped in a gilded cage. I often found myself contemplating my future, wondering if I would ever be able to break free from the path that had been laid out for me.
One day, Daryn stumbled upon a flyer for a rap concert, a world away from the sterile confines of his existence. The vibrant colors and bold fonts caught his eye, igniting a curiosity he hadn't felt in years. It was a stark contrast to the pristine, controlled environment he was used to. The flyer represented a world of spontaneity and raw emotion, a world where he could be himself.
The pulsating rhythm, the raw energy, the promise of rebellion ignited a spark within me. I felt a thrill that I had never experienced before, a sense of excitement that was both exhilarating and terrifying. The music spoke to me in a way that nothing else had. It was a form of expression that resonated with my soul, a way to channel my emotions and frustrations.
He had always loved music, finding solace in its rhythm and rhyme. It was his escape, his sanctuary, a place where he could be himself without fear of judgment. Daryn would often lose himself in the melodies, writing lyrics that reflected his innermost thoughts and feelings. It was a form of therapy, a way to cope with the pressures of his life. But Xavier deemed it a frivolous distraction, a waste of time that could be better spent on more productive pursuits. He saw no value in Daryn's passion for music, dismissing it as a childish hobby.
That night, I decided to defy my father. I knew it was a risk, but I couldn't ignore the call of my heart any longer. I needed to experience the freedom that music promised, even if just for a few hours. I would taste freedom, even if just for a few hours. The concert was everything I had imagined and more. The energy of the crowd, the passion of the performers, it was a world where I felt truly alive.
He would trade the suffocating air of expectation for the electrifying atmosphere of a rap concert. It was a decision that would change the course of his life, a moment of defiance that marked the beginning of a new journey. The concert was a revelation, a glimpse into a world where he could be free from the constraints of his father's expectations. It was a night that would stay with him forever, a turning point in his life. This act of defiance would change everything. It was the first step towards reclaiming his own identity, towards forging a path that was truly his own. Daryn knew that the road ahead would be challenging, but for the first time, he felt a sense of hope and determination. He was ready to fight for his dreams, to carve out a future that was defined by his own passions and aspirations. The concert throbbed with an energy Daryn had never experienced.
The music pulsed through me, a visceral force that resonated deep within my soul. I felt alive.
Amidst the swaying bodies and pulsating lights, his eyes met hers.
Isabelle. Her laughter, bright and carefree, cut through the noise like a beacon. She moved with an effortless grace.
They talked, their initial awkwardness melting away with each shared laugh and stolen glance.
Isabelle possessed a vibrancy that both intrigued and intimidated me. She was everything my world was not. Free-spirited, passionate, and unapologetically herself.
For the first time, Daryn felt seen, not as the sum of his accomplishments or the weight of his father's expectations, but simply as himself.
As the night drew to a close, I knew I had stumbled upon something extraordinary. I was determined to know more, to explore the connection that crackled between us.
Their connection deepened with each stolen meeting, each shared joke, each whispered secret. It was as if the universe had conspired to bring them together, weaving their lives into a tapestry of shared moments and unspoken understanding. Every glance, every touch, every word exchanged between them added another layer to the bond that was forming, a bond that felt both fragile and unbreakable.
Isabelle, with her infectious laughter and zest for life, chipped away at the walls I had built around myself. Her presence was like a breath of fresh air, a reminder that life was meant to be lived fully and joyfully. She had a way of making even the mundane seem magical, and her laughter was a melody that resonated deep within my soul, breaking down barriers I didn't even know existed.
He found himself confiding in her, sharing his dreams, his fears, and the suffocating pressure of his father's expectations. It was a relief to finally voice the thoughts that had been weighing him down for so long, to have someone who listened without judgment and offered a safe space for his vulnerabilities. The suffocating pressure of his father's expectations had always been a heavy burden to bear. It was as if his entire future had been mapped out for him, with no room for deviation or personal choice. The weight of these expectations often left him feeling trapped, suffocated, and yearning for an escape.
You should embrace your passion for music, Daryn. It's a part of you. Don't let it go. Her words were like a lifeline, pulling him out of the depths of his despair and reminding him of the dreams he had once held dear. It's a part of you. Don't let it go. Those words echoed in his mind, a constant reminder of the passion that had always burned within him, a passion that he had tried to suppress for far too long.
Isabelle listened without judgment, her eyes reflecting an empathy that disarmed him. She had a way of making him feel seen and understood, of making him believe that his dreams were valid and worth pursuing. Her unwavering support gave him the courage to face his fears and embrace his true self.
Inspired by her unwavering belief, I began to write, pouring my heart out in lyrics that spoke of love, longing, and the yearning for something more. Each word, each note was a reflection of the emotions that had been bottled up inside me for so long, a testament to the transformative power of love and support. Pouring my heart out in lyrics that spoke of love, longing, and the yearning for something more. The process of writing became a cathartic release, a way to channel my emotions and express the depths of my soul. It was as if the music had always been there, waiting for the right moment to be unleashed, and the yearning for something more. The more I wrote, the more I realized that my music was not just an escape, but a way to connect with others, to share my story and touch the hearts of those who listened. It was a powerful realization, one that filled me with a sense of purpose and direction.
He shared his music with Isabelle, his voice trembling with vulnerability. It was a moment of raw honesty, a moment that laid bare his deepest fears and hopes. As he played, he watched her reaction, hoping that she would understand the emotions behind the notes, the story behind the lyrics.
This is beautiful, Daryn. I'm so proud of you. Her words were like a balm to his soul, soothing the doubts and insecurities that had plagued him for so long. In that moment, he felt a sense of validation and acceptance that he had never experienced before. I'm so proud of you. Her pride in him was evident, and it ignited a fire within him, a determination to pursue his dreams with renewed vigor and passion.
Her reaction, a mixture of awe and pride, ignited a fire within him. It was a moment of clarity, a moment that made him realize that he was capable of achieving greatness, that his dreams were within reach if he had the courage to pursue them.
For the first time, I allowed myself to dream beyond the preordained path laid out by my father. I began to envision a future where I could follow my passion, where I could create music that resonated with others and made a difference in the world. It was a liberating thought, one that filled me with hope and excitement. I was falling in love. The realization was both exhilarating and terrifying, a whirlwind of emotions that left me feeling vulnerable and exposed. But with Isabelle by my side, I felt a sense of strength and confidence that I had never known before.
Isabelle, with her radiant smile and unwavering support, had become his muse, his confidant, his everything. She was the light that guided him through the darkness, the anchor that kept him grounded, and the inspiration that fueled his creativity. and unwavering support had become his muse, his confidant, his everything. Together, they faced the challenges and uncertainties of life, drawing strength from their love and the bond they shared. It was a journey of growth and discovery, a journey that they were determined to navigate together, hand in hand. Their world, once filled with the lightness of burgeoning love, took a dark turn. The rain seemed to mirror the tears they had yet to shed, the darkness around them a prelude to the shadows that would soon envelop their lives.
Isabelle, always vibrant and full of life, began to tire easily. Her laughter, once a constant melody, was punctuated by moments of breathlessness. The sparkle in her eyes dimmed, replaced by a weariness that no amount of rest could alleviate. She tried to hide it, to keep their world intact, but the signs were undeniable.
Daryn's concern grew with each passing day, his heart clenching at the sight of her waning strength. He watched over her as she slept, his mind racing with fears he dared not voice. The woman he loved was slipping away, and he felt powerless to stop it.
You need to see a doctor, Isabelle, please. His voice was a mixture of desperation and determination, a plea for her to take the first step towards finding out what was wrong.
Isabelle, initially resistant, finally relented, her forced smile doing little to assuage his growing anxiety. She knew he was right, but the fear of what they might discover was almost too much to bear.
Okay, Daryn, I'll go. Her voice was soft, almost a whisper, as if speaking the words made the reality of their situation more tangible.
The diagnosis, delivered with a coldness that belied the gravity of the words, shattered their world. The doctor's office, once a place of hope and healing, became a chamber of despair.
Terminal cancer. The words hung in the air, heavy and suffocating, a death sentence that neither of them was prepared to hear.
The doctor's voice seemed to echo in the sterile room, each syllable a hammer blow to Daryn's heart. He felt the ground shift beneath him, the future they had planned crumbling into dust.
We will face this together, Daryn. I'm not going anywhere. Isabelle's words were a lifeline, a promise that even in the face of death, their love would endure.
Isabelle, ever strong, reached for his hand, her touch a lifeline in the face of unimaginable despair. Her strength became his anchor, her resolve a beacon in the darkness.
This wasn't how our story was supposed to go. We were supposed to have forever. The dreams they had shared, the future they had envisioned, all seemed to slip through their fingers like sand.
But fate, it seemed, had other plans. The ticking clock became a constant reminder of the time they had left, each moment more precious than the last. They stood at a crossroads, their path uncertain, but their love unwavering. Together, they would face whatever came next, their bond unbroken by the trials ahead.